For decades, the US hasn't just led the world with armies, it's ruled it with dollars. Nearly 90% of foreign exchange transactions involve the US dollar. This gives America immense power over trade, banking, and global finance. When countries defy Washington, they don't always face bombs. They face sanctions, bank freezes, blocked trades, financial isolation. That's how Russia was punished after invading Ukraine in 2022. But that move did more than isolate Russia. It sent shockwaves across the world, especially to America's rivals, who now fear that their money could be used against them. Before we move forward, please subscribe to our channel. In response, countries like Russia and China are making a quiet but powerful move. They're dumping US dollars and buying gold, lots of it. Why? Because gold is sanction-proof. It doesn't need a bank, a network, or approval. It's physical, untouchable, and universally accepted. Russia's gold reserves have doubled in the past 10 years. China, too, is stockpiling gold through monthly purchases. Officially, China has over 2,000 tons, but analysts believe they're hiding more. This isn't just about investment. It's a survival strategy. Gold can't be frozen or tracked. It's a shield against America's economic pressure. This strategy is part of a wider plan called de-dollarization. Countries want to reduce their reliance on the US dollar in trade, banking, and reserves. China and Russia have already started trading in yuan and rubles. Iran, under heavy US sanctions, joined the shift. Even allies like India and Saudi Arabia are testing trades without dollars. In this new system, gold becomes the backup, the silent strength. BRICS countries are even discussing a gold-backed currency. It wouldn't dethrone the dollar overnight, but it could give smaller nations a powerful alternative to Western control. Gold is sending a clear signal. For decades, the dollar has ruled, but now countries are voting with their vaults. Every bar of gold bought by China, Russia, or Turkey is a step away from US dominance. In 2024 alone, global gold buying reached record highs. Even nations like Egypt, Poland, and Kazakhstan are stacking reserves. Why? Because they want independence, freedom from US banking systems, sanctions, and political strings. With every gold purchase, they reduce America's leverage. In this new world, financial power doesn't come from Wall Street. It comes from what's hidden underground. Let's talk about why this matters. US sanctions don't just punish governments. They shape global decisions. When the US froze $300 billion in Russian reserves, other nations watched closely. What if Washington could do the same to them? That fear is driving countries to secure assets that can't be touched, like gold. Even countries not in conflict with the US are worried. They're asking, if it happened to Russia, could it happen to us? That fear has become motivation. They're quietly preparing for a future where financial independence is as vital as military defense. America's enemies aren't just building up armies anymore. They're building up vaults. Gold isn't flashy. It doesn't explode. But it might just be the most powerful weapon in today's economic war. Unlike military weapons, gold brings silence. No press releases. No international condemnations. Just slow, quiet accumulation. And the message is clear. If the West tries to cut off their access to global systems, they'll have a backup. It's not about buying guns anymore. It's about controlling value without needing the dollar. Gold is working for these countries because it's universal. It doesn't care about borders or politics, and the global gold market is strong. Even Western investors are turning to gold as inflation rises. Meanwhile, American companies are watching as potential markets close off, not from war, but from financial shifts. And here's the irony. US sanctions, designed to isolate countries, are pushing them to build stronger alternatives. It's a slow-motion fallout, and gold is at the center of it. A quiet rebellion that's beginning to look like a global movement. So what does all this mean? The US dollar isn't dying, but it's being challenged. America's enemies are preparing for a future where they don't need to rely on Western systems. They're not shouting about it. They're planning, vault by vault, deal by deal. And gold is their insurance policy. A new economic Cold War is underway, but this time, it's not being fought with missiles or fighter jets. It's fought with quiet trades, hidden reserves, and the slow accumulation of power. The question isn't just who holds the gold, it's who controls the future.